In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how to use models in your sales process to explain the value to your customers when it comes to selling video. Now, this is probably one of the most valuable trainings that you'll probably get when it comes to simplifying your sales process and explaining video to your customers. I don't know about you, when I first started out, I really struggled with explaining why they needed video for their marketing. And I could say, hey, you need 10 videos because you need to be consistent, you need to be posting more. But I'm going to tell you right now, your client doesn't need to hear that. They get told that by every single person. So using the power of models in your sales process to explain the value of video is a powerful way to, number one, differentiate yourself, but also to convert the deal. So let's jump straight into it, because this is probably one of the most fun, powerful videos that I've ever posted that I think you will really enjoy. So process-driven models. There's a couple other styles of models that we teach our clients inside our paid coaching programs, but I wanted to give this training away for free and explain this process-driven model on how to use this for sales, because I think it's probably one of the most underutilized strategies when it comes to selling, which is using models. Okay, so if you're not familiar with models is essentially what you're looking at right now, a powerful concept to communicate a couple of key things. The first one is obviously simplifying complex ideas. So if you struggle with saying to your client why they need to be consistent, this visual model process, giving them a visual model, is going to make it super simple. The second thing is obviously effective teaching. So right now I am using a model, a couple models we'll go through in this training, that is an effective way to teach without me just having all these dot points on the screen right now and just going, here's why you need to do it. I'm visually taking you through the power of models. The same when it comes to selling video. Using models, and I'll show you a couple examples in a second, can visually show the power of video. The third one is credibility and building trust, right? Trust is a really huge problem in the marketplace, especially right now when it comes to selling video. There's so many videographers, video agency owners out there. There's agencies now that do video part of the thing. There's so much competition. There's also people can use their phone. There's devices getting a lot easier. You can use CapCut. There's lots of different devices. So credibility used to be, you could say, I'm a production company. Now you got to fight with lots of other people. And how do they know you're credible? Well, if you have a process, or if you have a framework in a visual model, this is what can set you apart, right? The fourth thing is it's memorable. So obviously selling video as a service, it's cool. Why we sell video is because videos are more memorable. They create more emotion. They create more connection with someone's audience. Same as models. These are a visual representation. This helps the brain, when you're watching this and seeing this, helps the brain understand it easier, understand what a model is, right? That's the power of this. The fifth thing here is obviously authority and differentiation. This is something that my clients ask me all the time. It's like, how do I become different? How do I stand out from the other competition who's doing the exact same thing? How do you do it? You can't change the name of a brand story video and call it this random name and that's how you be different. No, a visual model or a process and explaining how you do it is what makes you different. Saying you've been in the industry for 20 years, no one cares about that. Visual models, in my opinion, are the only way that I've found to effectively do this. Predictability, where you can actually go, hey, this is what actually makes us different. So again, this is the power of models. We're going to go for a couple of examples in just a second. Now, how do we apply these models? So there's a couple of different ways, and this is why we're talking really about the sales process today. In this training specifically, we've got other videos on our YouTube channel that you can check out that talk about different concepts and different strategies. But today, we're focusing specifically on the use of models in sales. But these are a couple of different ways you can. So if you ever think about going and creating models, not so you feel like you're just doing it for sales, you can use them in other areas of your business, and actually would suggest you do. The first one obviously is our sales process. That's what we're talking about right now. The second one is the social media posts. So using visual models like I'm showing you right now in the social media to get the attention. The third one is lead magnets. So getting a resource put together that has visual models explaining your concepts. This is really powerful for sales and marketing, where you give out a free resource that has your IP in it. So visual models, again, is powerful for that. The fourth way is YouTube trainings. guess what? You're watching one right now. This is models I'm showing you. There's a couple going through right now. That's educating you on how to use models in your sales process. So pulling the curtain back, we use these all the time through our coaching, through our sales and marketing, through everything that we do to explain concepts, to simplify things, right? The fifth one is your own systems and processes. So if you're scaling your business right now, bringing on team, having a visual model to explain what you do in a simple way, super powerful. So 5 ways you can use it. Today, we're really focusing on how to use it in the sales process. Super powerful. Okay, so a process-driven model. A process-driven model, and this is one of the key models that I would suggest to start with, is basically taking people from point A to point B. So think of this on the left. This is your point A. This is where your customers usually are, right? So this is a pain, or it's like the starting point, right? So it can be a couple of things. This is the initial step that someone needs to take to be able to achieve what's on the right, the dream outcome. The dream outcome is, for some customers that you probably work with video, is becoming the go-to expert, or leads, sales, more money, right? Growth, whatever that outcome they want. That's the outcome. So you got the point A, which is here, A, and we've got B. Simple way to explain it: starting point, end point. In the middle is what we call the map. This is where the model comes into place. This is where models help explain your complex ideas into a simple framework that your customers can see and understand through a sales process. So a map is basically laying out the steps for them. When they see the steps and you've shown them the steps, it positions you again as the incredible authority where people understand that you're the go-to person for what you do, right? It makes it memorable where they go, I visually see and I understand why I need to invest in video, and you have the system. I remember years ago, a mentor was telling me, and I was like, he was telling me about a concept of he lost a deal, and he's running a marketing agency at the time, and he was mentoring me on how to grow my marketing agency, and he lost a $20,000 monthly retainer to the competition. And he asked them why, my pricing's cheaper, right? And this is where you don't have, being cheaper is not how you build authority. Having systems, models, like we're talking about, makes you authority. He lost the deal because that, and they came back to him. They said, "Hey, the reason we didn't go with you is because this other team has the 3-step, 5-step, Facebook, Instagram ad testing model, whatever system, right? Models." So he lost a $20,000 a month recurring revenue deal. Now, was he better than the other one? Yes, he was. They actually ended up coming back later on, and they did convert them into a client. But he learned the lesson, and what it conveyed to me, this is very early on my journey, was that you need to have frameworks and systems on your things. That's what makes you different. Models is a way of conveying those frameworks. Okay, so the model is the map. It's the thing in the middle. It's the steps. It's the process that takes them from point A to point B. Now, I want to share with you 2 visual diagrams. You can take these templates and you can use them for yourself, and you can do your rough draft and have a bit of fun with this. You can use this. You can create these on Canva. It's pretty simple. Again, we're looking at a process driven. This is specifically for sales. So say you're trying to clarify what you do right now. This is the starting point, and then this is the end point, right? If you think about video, I would suggest, if we're going to do it as a framework, 3 to 6 steps, no more. No more than, you can do 7, but 7 to 9, it's getting a bit too much. Some people do that. I prefer this 3 to 6 steps, especially when explaining a process. Keep it simple. This is actually really good for you to do as an exercise, for you to get clear on how you deliver your things. As I said before, you can use these in your systems for teaching your team. Is if you have like a 5-step way of editing a video, great. You can create a visual model for that as well. Today we're talking about sales, but it really helps you define what you do. And look, it may take some more micro steps under there, but what are like the 4 or 5, 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 stages or steps that someone needs to go through to achieve that outcome? So let's start. Let's look at editing. Someone needs to, put the files on the computer, edit the video, do the bass, do the color grading, all that kind of stuff. End outcome, video finished, sent to client. That could be a 3 to 6 step process. So let's just use this and draw out a quick example for you from a video aspect for selling video as a service. Now, when you think of video, the process is not just the filming and editing. There is some strategy that needs to be in place. So my suggestion would be if we break this diagram up into 3 stages. So we've got strategy, we've got the editing, filming process, editing, like production. Let's put a name, production, editing, filming, and then after this is we've got the marketing or distribution, right? So you don't have to do this. This is just a way I would do it. So we've got 3 stages. 1, 2, 3. Now, they could be 3 steps there that we could just focus on, or we could break them up into smaller steps. I'm going to break it up into smaller steps so you can use this as an example. When we think of strategy, before we start creating videos for clients, there's a step before this. First step is we need to be clear on their message, right? So step 1, their message. Who are they speaking to? Who's their avatar, right? That's what fits under this bracket here. Message. The second step here is where I'd put actually offer, right? So this is where I'd put their offer. If they're looking to generate more sales as an outcome, so sales over here, well, we need to understand, well, what's their offer? What are they selling? Now, you're not their offer building business coach, but understanding what they're promoting, or if it's a lead magnet, if it's you're creating ads for them, video ads or a brand story, you are part of their marketing strategy. You need to know what the outcome is. If it's just building more brand awareness, again, you need to understand, well, what does that lead to? Why do they want to build more brand awareness? In this case, it leads to more sales. That's why they want to build a brand. So strategy, first step. Then in the middle here, let's just say it's filming, and then it's editing, and then you might have like scripting. If you do that, scripting. And the last part would be posting, and then maybe it's ads, right? I'm just, again, putting a rough example. Put this into your own framework of how you do it. Now, these would be the 3 phases that you go through in the production. And you can call this the 3-step process, or you can call it the 6-step. So you might focus on the top level first, and that's maybe the 3-step system that you have, which comes down to strategy, filming, and then marketing. Now, I would give these different names. It might be launch, optimize, and then scale, right? Just give them some names if you want to. Then here would be how you explain the 6 steps that fall under the 3 phases. So 3 steps, or 3 phases. Again, it can be steps, phases. Don't get caught up on it. Just pick one. And then it's like, here's our 6-step process to take you through from point A to point B. Now, using this as a sales example, this is just a short training for you to go through to give you some insights. I've just put together a really basic rough draft. This is my suggestion. If you're wanting to improve your sales process, getting a rough draft visual version of this is what you want to achieve, okay? You could use another one that looks like this. This is just another one. This could be a 3-step model again, okay? It doesn't really matter if it's a triangle or circles or whatever. I prefer having triangles for explaining a process because you're explaining the start point and then you've got the end point. And when hopefully you're getting what I'm putting down, you're explaining visually like this to a client, you're seeing the value of this. You're seeing the model is the map, right? And this is where, if you've ever learned anything in sales, is our goal in sales is understanding where someone is, so their pain, right? And then their dream outcome, right? Outcome. In here is what we call the gap. And the gap, we solve the gap by showing them a visual model. If we just tell them there's a gap, oh, you're not where you want to be, they don't see it. When we visually draw this out and we show them that there's a system and they have a gap, once they see this and once you've seen this, right now you go, oh man, the thing that's missing in my sales process is models. Your prospects also see, when you visually draw out your video marketing system, they can't unsee it. And when they go to their competitors, and hopefully not too many people watch this video. If you're watching this, I hope you're getting a lot of value of it. Hopefully not too many videographers see this, because then, not everyone's using models. But in theory, your model is always going to be different, right? This is the power of models. You can create your own concepts. People go, oh, you have the map. You have this thing that's going to help me solve my problem. So hopefully you're getting what I'm putting down on the power of models and how to use it in your sales process. If you found this video valuable, I would love to know in the comments. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway. And hey, if you're implementing this and you get some results, send me a message on Instagram or leave a comment down below on this video. I'd love to see how you go with this. This is a really powerful concept that I learned years ago, and I just wanted to give it away for free so people could see the power of models. So that's it for this video. Until the next one, I'll see you then. Drop a comment down below what was your biggest takeaway, and we'll see you in the next training.